I was on a TV show the other day for a pre-record, and it had an audience of about 40 odd people, and they were going around asking questions and came towards me. They said, you're the four-time Australian memory champion. What are the competitions like? And then they, after I answered, then they went over to everyone else. Now, the goal for me with everything that I do is not just to show people that I'm a memory champion or some sort of a memory freak. And I hope that watching all my videos, you don't just get that, right? The goal for me is honestly showing that this stuff works, that memory training, memory improvement works, because it is not a gift, right, that I have. It's a gift that everyone has. And it's a gift that is also a skill, right? Just like your brain, we're gifted with a brain. A lot of people don't know how to use it, right? But memory is actually a skill that can be developed, right? You can go back and rewatch that bit, but it's a skill that can be developed. So how do you develop it? I talk about it in my videos. If you haven't watched any of my videos, welcome first. I've got over 270 of them on my channel, but it's a skill that can be developed. So how do you develop it? How long does it take? What do you do? All that sort of stuff. I try and cover it as best as I can in my videos. But in short, if you haven't watched any of them, it's like, say, riding a bike, right? First you're gonna hop on, you're gonna fall off, right? Multiple times. You're going to need a strategy to move forward, right? So you learn those strategies, you learn how to pedal. Eventually you move away from either training wheels or just get straight onto the two wheels and off you go. So it's a bit like that. And then once you know how to ride, you know how to ride. That's it. That's the skill of memory, right? You know how to use a memory palace, or you know how to make a story, right? The rest is pretty easy and it becomes fun. So the reason why I got into memory, especially memory training, is that I found learning challenging. Right? Learning was challenging. Like, I was at university before I did all this memory stuff, and I kept failing one subject over and over again. And instead of graduating back in 1999, right, 4 years later I graduated. So because I kept failing this one subject, right? For me, it's all about gamification of the learning. I enjoyed having fun, right? I enjoy having fun. I'm sure a lot of you do. And when I was a lot younger, I would play so many games, video games. I'd be on the Street Fighter machine with all my friends, back in the 90s. It was amazing. And even in my university days, I'd be on the computers, playing Doom or something, in the study hall with all my mates online back then. That was amazing, even in the 90s. So, and then Counter-Strike came, but yeah, it was amazing times. But learning, I found challenging. I did enjoy, because I did computer science, right? So I did enjoy it, but things did get challenging. What made it easier was gamification. Now, learning up to a certain point becomes stressful. Stress releases cortisol in the brain, right? So if you're stressed and trying to learn, what happens is eventually you sort of stop, or you distract yourself, and so on, right? The brain's not used to that boredom state, so you go and do other things. Whereas we know now, research shows that if you're bored, your brain's in the same state as what your brain is in the shower or in the toilet, right? And guess where we get all the best ideas? From those places. So memory training allowed me to not necessarily learn about memory, but to play the games of memory. And when I was playing the games of memory, guess what happened? I learned memory a lot better. I knew what strong connection was. I learned what a weak connection was. I improved my overall memory by playing the games, not by learning and reading and doing all these courses about it. Do you see what I mean? So if you really want to work on your memory, work on the skill of connection, because that's what memory is. It's connection. And the best way to do that, I believe, is just through games. Go to my website, tanzalala.com/downloads. There's free downloads there. I'll put the link down below as well. And you can go and train your memory if you know the techniques, which you can pick up from this channel, right? You can go to memoryleak.com, which is an awesome site to practice from. And there's so many other websites now. When I was learning about it, there was nothing. It was only what my friend created a year later on, which was memorize.org, that, the online game started. And, I was probably one of the first to write lessons on there. My lessons are still on there, which is great to see. So train your memory, because that's the best way to go, and it is a skill, right? Just because I've memorized the phone book and I'm 4-time memory champion, I'm not no one special. I've just used that skill, and I was continually interested and curious about that skill, that I developed it further than others that may have dropped off over time because they're either busy and so on. And look, I was fortunate as well that I had the time, because I was in hospital, right, recovering from a major operation. So I did have the time as well. Again, I'm not saying everyone's got the time to do all this sort of stuff, but you don't need hours and hours. Just even if you do 5-10 minutes here and there, you're going to get so much out of memory training. So that's what I want to, I guess, enforce on the message today is, don't just look at me as the memory guru, or I am a teacher, that's what guru means, but don't just think of me as this memory freak, right? Just look at me as passing the knowledge on, right? I want to pass as much knowledge on as I can. And if you're interested to learn more and fast track, then feel free to reach out. And that's how I work with people, right? But really, I'm just going to keep pumping out all this knowledge. Hopefully it's benefiting you. Comment down below if it is. If it isn't, then I'll just stop. I'll try and do it other ways. And also comment down below if you've got a topic that you're interested in for me to cover. And I think that'll be really cool as well. So thank you so much for watching. My name's Tansel, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.